What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Season 9, Episode 3, You Can't Handle the Truth. Let's get started with Gino and Jasmine. So Gino's back home in Michigan. He's with his cousin Dana, and he's telling his cousin Dana all about his trip to Las Vegas. He talks about Natalie. He talks about how good Natalie made him feel, how refreshing it was to be with a woman that's not trying to start arguments, that's not picking on you all the time. Now, Gino says that he's very apprehensive about meeting up with Jasmine. He knows that he has to have a meetup with her. He has to talk to her at some point, but he's very apprehensive about it. And cousin Dana says, well, you do need to talk to her. Y'all do have to have a conversation. And by the way, she's been telling my wife, Michelle, that she really does still love you and that she wants to work things out with you. Now, when Gino hears this, he's like very suspicious about it. He's like, well, I don't know about that. Like, he doesn't really fall for the okie doke. Like, yes, Jasmine wants me back. And, maybe I still have a chance for Jasmine. It seems like mentally and emotionally, Gino has checked out of his marriage and has no interest in reconciling with Jasmine. So then we see Jasmine. She's at home with Matt, and she's like in this portable sauna. And she's telling Matt how stressed out she is because she received an email from Gino where Gino is asking to meet up with her. Now, Matt makes a really snide remark and says, oh, I'm glad he knows how to use the internet. I'm not understanding why Matt has so much animosity towards Gino. Like, Gino didn't do anything to you. You're the man that's boinking his wife. Okay. He gave his wife the option of an open marriage because that's what she wanted. He didn't want to lose her. So, like, I don't understand why Matt has so much animosity towards Gino. Now, later on, we find out that Matt wants to be with Jasmine. Like, he has feelings for Jasmine. He wants a future with Jasmine. And maybe that's why he doesn't really see it for Gino, but Gino's got nothing to do with that. Jasmine is the one that started this whole mess, this love triangle mess, this open marriage mess. These men are just giving her what she wants. But so there's no reason for the two men to be going at it, with one another. So, like, I really didn't understand why Matt had all this hostility towards Gino. So he's really worried about Jasmine meeting up with Gino because he thinks that maybe Gino has a chance with Jasmine, because Jasmine has already told Matt that she wants to fix things with Gino and she wants to go back to Gino. And she tells us that she will always choose Gino over Matt and that she would rather be Gino. I don't believe it personally. I don't believe it at all. I think Jasmine is a fantastic actress. I just don't believe that she's pining away for Gino because she still loves him. If she wants to be back with Gino, I think it's for immigration purposes. I don't know if it's going to mess up her immigration process if she's no longer with Gino and now she's with another man. I don't know if she's thinking that if I make it look like I don't want to be with my husband, that I fell out of love with him and I want to be with this other man, then maybe immigration will get a whiff that this might be a fake marriage. Maybe this will be grounds to not approve her visa or not approve whatever, her citizenship. I don't know how it goes because it's going to look like, this marriage wasn't real to begin with. You probably were just using this man to come to America because as soon as you got here and as soon as he married you and applied for your visa application, you decided to be with this other dude and you're living with this other dude. So I don't know if it's got something to do with immigration or what, but I really do not believe that Jasmine really wants to be back with Gino because these people never had a single happy moment together. Okay, they fought more than anything else. I have no idea why she would want to reconcile with Gino. So it's time for the meetup. So she goes to see Gino, and Matt is driving her, I think, to the meetup place. And Matt is really hoping that Gino is going to act like a plum fool so that Jasmine will choose him over Gino. So Gino shows up. It's just the two of them at this meeting place. It's basically in this open parking lot. And Gino came with all of her stuff in his trunk, her clothes, her coffee maker, her yoga mat. He had packed up all her crap, put it in the back of his car because it seems like Gino is really to get rid of Jasmine. That's what it seems like. Okay. So on their way to the meeting place, Jasmine talks about how much she misses Gino and that she hopes that he will take her back. Once again, I don't believe Jasmine. So when she gets there, she's really surprised to see that Gino had packed up her stuff to give back to her because she thought that there was a possibility that she could be going home with Gino that same day. That's what she was hoping for. But he showed up with all of her stuff packed, ready, loaded, like, here's your crap, take your stuff and get out of my life. So she asked him about Natalie. And he tells her, yes, he went to Las Vegas to go see this chick, Natalie. And then Jasmine says, you went to go see another woman while you're still married to me? Hmm. Were you worried about your marriage when Matt had you twisted up like a pretzel? Were you worried like I'm not understanding, like you're not thinking about your marriage when you're with Matt, but you want Gino to be thinking about your marriage at all times. You're with a whole nother man, Jasmine. You're with another dude. Like I don't understand. You want Gino just to be sitting at home twiddling his thumbs, waiting for you every time you go have a session with Matt? Like I don't understand. I don't get it. Anywho, so Gino tells her that the relationship is just toxic. He's like, we fight way too much. I'm not happy. You're not happy. Jasmine then turns on the waterworks because she thinks that she knows how to manipulate men and, just start crying, shed a couple of tears, and then, the man's going to feel bad and do whatever the hell you want him to do. So Gino reveals how he knew that Jasmine was talking to Matt way before Jasmine ever brought up the open marriage. So his whole thing was, you and Matt were already in a relationship. You were already cheating on me before you ever brought up this whole thing about an open marriage. Because the way that Jasmine presented this to Gino and to us on The Last Resort, she made it seem like as if she was unhappy with Gino because their sex life was very dry. And so she came up with this idea while she was at The Last Resort to have an open marriage. And that might help with their issues. Gino now is saying, you've always wanted to be with another man. It wasn't because you had some type of revelation at The Last Resort or when we were having our therapy sessions. You always wanted this because you were already with Matt way before you brought this idea up to me. So then she's like, well, prove it to me. And he says that I could see on your phone log you were talking to Matt. Y'all were having these conversations because sometimes you would talk for a couple of minutes, sometimes y'all would talk for a whole hour. And then Jasmine says, of course I was talking to Matt because he was the one giving me rides to the gym. You wouldn't take me, so he would be the one to take me to the gym. That's why I was talking to him. And he really didn't say anything to that. And then he brings up how, well, you were at the gym for 8 hours a day with him. And she was like, no, I was never at the gym for no damn 8 hours. I don't know what was going on. We weren't there to witness any of this. So it's his word against hers. Who knows what the hell was happening? The way that I see it, y'all, whether there's a Matt or there's a Natalie, it doesn't even matter. These two people do not need to be together. Okay, not because she wants to be with Matt, not because he wants to be with Natalie, because they're just not good for each other. Point blank, period. They don't need to be together. Should she be with Matt? Who the hell knows? Should Gino be with Natalie? Who the hell knows? Probably not. But they don't need to be together. So they're going back and forth about that. And then Gino then tells her, he drops the bomb on her and he tells her, I want a divorce. And I thought at this particular moment, Gino looked kind of silly because he wants a divorce because Natalie told him, if you want to be with me, you got to get rid of her. But so far, I don't know what's really going on between Gino and Natalie and how long they've actually been talking. But I don't think that he should be making such a drastic decision because that's what Natalie wants him to do. If he wants a divorce from Jasmine, he should want a divorce from Jasmine because he wants the divorce from Jasmine, not because, some woman that he met that DM'd him told him, if you want to be with me, get rid of her. That doesn't make any sense. That's very silly. So he's jumping from one bad relationship into another bad relationship because that's not how you should start things with Natalie. If you really don't want to be with Jasmine, then you should divorce her, not because you have this anticipation of being with Natalie. You should just have this anticipation of getting your life back. So she gets her stuff from the trunk of the car, and he's all worried about whether or not she accidentally took some of his caps, which she didn't take any of his hats. So, like I said, if Gino wants a divorce, it should be because he believes that it's time for a divorce, not because he's trying to hurry up and get with another woman. That's just insane. It doesn't look like him and Natalie have known each other long enough for him to make such a drastic decision like this, especially when it's involving Jasmine's citizenship. Um, That's what it looks like to me. But like I said, I don't really know how long Gino and Natalie have been involved with one another and how deep their relationship is. But it looks like it's in the beginning stages. It looks like it's very surface. They saw each other one time. Okay. They've been around each other's presence only once, and it was for a date. Okay. Where everything was going, wonderfully, and then you come back home and you're talking about I want a divorce from your. It just doesn't make any sense. Divorce her because you don't want to be with her. Divorce her because she's screwing another man, but not because you're trying to get it going on with Natalie. Moving on to Alexi and Lauren and the whole Florida crew, y'all. I remember watching Alexi and Lauren when they first showed up on the scene, however many years ago it was. Uh, and I never had an issue. Like, Lauren was annoying back then, but I really didn't have an issue with her like the way I do now. Ever since I saw her on, like last year or something, when they were on, I don't know if it was Happily Ever After. I think it was Happily Ever After. She's just become more and more annoying. Like, I just don't understand how Alexi puts up with her. So Noga, her friend Noga, has come over and they're talking about Andre. Lauren says that she should have stood up for Noga more while her and Andre were going back and forth. Noga admits that she herself was a little bit out of character, that she should not have allowed Andre to get under her skin like that. And then they both conclude that Andre is just a chauvinist and that he thinks that women are below him. That's their conclusion. Andre thinks everybody is below him. Like I said, Andre thinks anybody can get a piece of that action, not just women. Okay, do y'all not? Do y'all watch this show that y'all are on? Lauren, Noga, have y'all seen any of the episodes with Andre? Any of the seasons that featured Andre and Elizabeth? Do you have any clue on who this man is? Did y'all not see him argue and get into a physical fight with his brother-in-law? Like, I'm not understanding why y'all act like I don't know who this man is and how he operates. He has it in for everybody, not just women. So Andre thinks that okay, no. Lauren says that she's planning a girls' night, but she's kind of apprehensive about it because she doesn't know exactly how Elizabeth will act towards her after she got into it with her husband. So it's the night of the girls' night out, and the guys are going to be staying at Lauren's house, taking care of the kids, while the women go out and party. So when I was watching this scene where everybody was arriving at Lauren's house, and I was looking at Yara, I was wondering, does Yara even like these people? Are Elizabeth and Lauren the type of people that Yara would even hang out with if she wasn't contractually obligated to spend time with them? Because I really don't think so. Because to me, Yara looked bored the whole entire time. So Lauren is worried about the tension between she's worried about the tension that's going to be there with Andre and Libby. So Andre tells us he really doesn't care about seeing Lauren again. He could take it or leave it. And in fact, Andre goes as far as to say that he wished that he could have turned up even more at the housewarming party. He wished that he really could have laid it on Noga and Lauren. He didn't do enough damage at the housewarming party towards Lauren and Noga. So the three women get in the car. They're on their way to their destination. Of course, it's very tense in the car. It looks very uncomfortable. Libby tells us that Lauren should have taken more accountability for her actions and her friend's action. Because according to Libby, they were attacking her husband. She says, yeah, my husband, he can be out of pocket sometimes, but really Lauren and Noga should have approached this a whole lot differently. So she's, of course, she's on her husband's side. Um, she also so Lauren says that she tells Libby, my friend was definitely out of line. I should have, controlled her better. So I do apologize for that. And Libby says, yeah, I know my husband can say some really crazy things, but Libby feels like Lauren and Noga's reaction was not justified. Just because Andre had said some things that were crazy, he was, yelling at them and screaming at them, that their reaction to him was unwarranted. That's how Libby sees it. Yara said that she doesn't even remember Andre saying anything crazy. Yara was like, I don't even remember Andre saying anything out of line. And I don't know if she's saying this just to get under Lauren's skin because Lauren is so damn annoying and she's just doing this on purpose. Or if to Yara, it's like, Eastern European men, it's just another day. When it comes to Eastern Europe, that's just how they are. And maybe she's used to it. I don't know. But I thought that was hilarious because Lauren was pissed. In her confessional, she was like, Yara needs to be on my side. So they sit down, they go to their bar hopping or looking at strippers, whatever the hell they're doing, and they're sitting down having drinks. And of course, Lauren brings up Moldova, and she talks about how Andre wanting to move to Moldova is not good for their family, and that he needs to take into consideration what Libby wants, and Libby is better off living in the United States, and that she needs to stay here because that's what's best for her. So then Yara is like, but what if she wants to live in Moldova? What if she actually likes it there? And Lauren was pissed. I mean, you could practically see the steam coming out of her ear. She was so upset when Yara said that. And so then Yara asks Libby, when you are there in Moldova, do you even like it? And Libby goes, well, whenever I'm in Moldova, I'm in vacation mode. So of course I'm having a good time. I just don't know what it's like living there day to day, what the day to day life is like in Moldova. So I think Libby should just move to Moldova just to spite Lauren, just to really piss her off, just to really get her going. So then Libby says, you know what, I'm really sick and tired of talking about this. And then what does Lauren do? She continues to talk about it. Well, I just think that, you need to, no, don't think. We don't care what you think. It's got nothing to do with you. Stay out of their business, Lauren. It's got nothing to do with you. Like, I don't understand why she's so invested in whether or not Andre and Elizabeth move to Moldova. Like, what difference will it make to your bank account? What difference will it make to how your children eat? What difference will it make to your marriage to Alexei? Like, I don't understand what them moving or not moving to Moldova has anything to do with you. I know it's our whole thing of, oh, Libby doesn't have a voice and Libby can't stand up to Andre and she needs support, but she didn't ask for the support. Like, Lauren, have you not watched? Do these people not watch the shows that they're actually on? I mean, y'all do the whole pillow talk thing where y'all are watching each other on TV. Like, I don't understand. Don't you know, Lauren, that Libby is head over heels in love, infatuated, consumed by Andre? Whatever he wants, she will give him. Okay? Whatever he wants, she will give him. If he talks to her the right way, she will agree to move to Moldova. But I don't think they're moving to Moldova. I think it's just a storyline. There's nothing else going on with these people. That's why Lauren is overly invested in Andre and Libby. That's why Andre keeps talking about moving to Moldova because there's nothing else going on with these people. They have nothing going on. It's a very dry storyline. Moving on to Adnan and Tiger Lily. So they arrive at the log cabin, which is going to be their new home. Adnan walks around room to room. Tiger Lily is showing him around, and Adnan says he likes it. It's still under construction, but so far he likes what he sees. Tiger Lily almost fell. They were on the patio, and she's wearing those ridiculous shoes, and she almost fell. Her pregnant self almost fell. Okay, like, Tiger Lily, please put on some tennis shoes or something. Anyway, so while they're waiting for the log cabin to be completed, they're going to be staying at a hotel. So they get to the hotel. The hotel is a complete mess because her kids have some type of a celebration. So it looks like a tornado ran through that room. I would have been really ashamed to bring my new husband to wherever I'm staying. In this case, it's a hotel room with it looking like that. And Tiger Lily admitted in her confessional, she's like, I'm not a clean person, so I don't know what y'all want me to do. So Tiger Lily says she's very worried that Adnan is going to expect her to spoil him and coddle him and dote all over him like the way his mom and his sisters do back home, back in Jordan. And so she's like, I'm not going to be doing. Yes, you are. You're going to spoil him. You're going to dote on him. You're going to do all of that because you're just one of those type of women that's there to please their men, and that's it. They go to meet up with Adnan's brother, Ferris. Ferris used to live in Boston, but he moved to Texas to be closer to Adnan. So they play golf or whatever. And then after they do all of that, they all three sit down and the brother brings up religion. And Adnan tells Tiger Lily that he'll be happy if she became Muslim. Tiger Lily asked him, well, when did you change your mind? Because before you had told me that you didn't care that I was Christian and that you wouldn't expect me to convert. And Adnan says, well, I've never changed my mind. I always hoped that you would convert to Islam, but in the beginning, I was okay with you being Christian. I was fine with you being Christian, but I always had that hope, that hunger, that need, that desire for you to become Muslim. But yeah, I was fine with you being Christian. So the brother asks Tiger Lily, so what are you going to say, or what would you say if Adnan told you that he wants you to convert? And Tiger Lily says, well, I have to want to change. I have to want to convert to Islam for myself. It's because it should be because that's where my heart is leading me to, not for someone else, just to make someone else happy. So if I convert to Islam, it has to be because that's what I truly desire to do. And the brother was like, bravo, Tiger Lily, bravo. He loved that answer. So Adnan says that, I'm here to put you in the right way. I'm here to save you, to show you the way, to show you the light, because I'm your husband, you're my wife. Once again, y'all, I've always said this and I'll say it again. I'm sick and tired. I'm bored to tears. I'm frustrated. I am fed up with this storyline of the Muslim spouse trying to convince the non-Muslim spouse to convert to Islam. This is played out. It is boring. It is tired. The wheels have fallen off this train. Please, 90 Day Fiance, if this is an issue within a couple where the Muslim is trying to convert the non-Muslim, edit it out. Edit out all those conversations. I don't want to see it. It's tired. It's old. It's boring. Just stop. But we all know that Tiger Lily is going to convert. She'll convert into a dodo bird if Adnan wanted her to. Darcy and Giorgio. So Darcy's out shopping because she's looking for a more conservative wardrobe for her trip to Bulgaria. I didn't see a single conservative thing. The friends tell her, the friend that is helping her adjust her, the way she dresses and the way she looks to impress Giorgio's Bulgarian family. This friend tells her that she's also not only have to change her wardrobe, she's also going to have to change her nails and her lashes. Her nails are too long, her lashes are too crazy, so she's gonna have to tone all that down. She has to get mom nails. Now the thing is, like, it was just an excuse for her to go shopping, because I'm like, Darcy, are you telling us you literally have to go shopping for new clothes to appear more conservative? You don't have a single conservative outfit in your closet. You have nothing conservative that you own. You have to go shopping to go get conservative clothes. Okay. The next day, she goes to a beauty bar because she wants to get her lashes done. As soon as she walks into the establishment, the owner, and I don't know, the owners, I guess, or the people that work there, when they saw her, they were like, oh my God, Darcy, you look so beautiful. You look like a doll. And I was like, why? Why are y'all laying it on this thick? Y'all, look, there's no need for them to go to the extreme in making her feel good about the choices that she's made on how she looks. Okay, a simple girl, you look good, you look nice, that'll do. This whole entire, oh my God, Darcy, you look like a doll. Like what? A Chucky doll? Like, I don't understand. Like Chucky's bride, like a Barbie doll, or what? Like, I'm not understanding what doll looks like this. So, after she gets her lashes removed, the lash tech says that, girl, you don't need any lashes. I mean, not having lashes is just opening up your face, making you look a lot younger. Once again, why do you have to lay it on this thick? If I was Darcy, I would feel uncomfortable because you're laying it on just way too thick. So these are the people that I blame for her looking the way she does. Nobody wants to tell her the truth. Nobody wants to tell, but then again, when you have body dysmorphia, it doesn't matter what anybody says. You will never see yourself the way you actually are. You will never see yourself the way others see you. So it's not going to matter if they would have told her the truth or if they would have liked her, it would have made any difference. What matters is how she sees herself. And she needs, she needs help. She needs therapy. to get rid of this body or to learn how to deal with her body dysmorphia. Anyways, it's too late. I don't even know why I bother. It's just way too late. She's too far gone. Okay, so, and it's not that she's had a lot of work done. It's just the fact that I just can't get over how drastically different she looks from the way she used to look from her original self. That's what I just can't get over. Like, Darcy, we've seen you transition. We know what you used to look like before, and it's just so jarring to see where she's ended up. So while the lash tech is trying to encourage her to go lashless, Darcy's like, "No, honey, I need something. I can't just go, with bald eyes to Bulgaria. I need something." Her lash size, her normal over the top lash size is like a 16, but she settles on 12 to 13. I know nothing about lashes. I should educate myself on some fake lashes, but I know nothing about lashes at all whatsoever. So I don't know what a size 12 to 13 is. To me, I don't really see a difference between the two. I didn't see the difference between the 16 and the 13s or the 12s. She looked the same to me. Um, those women were really hyping her up. They were really laying it on thick. Oh my God, you look so much younger. The next scene that we see Darcy in, her and Giorgio are packing up for Bulgaria. She has on this bodysuit where her boobs are literally spilling out. And I'm trying to understand, like, why are we wearing this, Darcy, after you have these conversations with Giorgio and Giorgio's friends on how you need to be more conservative, how the family's not going to accept all of this sexiness, this, over glam. Like, why are we wearing this bodysuit with your boobs popping out? So Giorgio gets on her case about that. He's like, you just don't listen. If you go to Bulgaria looking like that, they're going to call you a prostitute. They're going to call you a whore. They're going to question me why I'm with you because you look like a prostitute. And so then she takes a scarf and she wraps it around and covers her cleavage. And she's like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine." And then she gets this fur coat and she throws it on and she thinks that she's looking very conservative. So she's got this white fur coat. She's got the glam makeup. She's got all this stuff. And this is how she's going to show up in Bulgaria. Really over the top. Let's move on. Guillermo and Kara. So Guillermo and Nico, they are at his mother-in-law's house. So Guillermo, he keeps on changing jobs. I don't know exactly what this man is looking for, why he keeps, changing jobs, quitting jobs, but they can't even afford a daycare. So Kara's mom watches their son. So he's over there at his mother-in-law's house, and they're having a conversation. And Guillermo he tells us in his confessional that he had a job that was a really good job, making good money, it had benefits, but he quit that job to work at a damn restaurant, and so they can't afford daycare. He talks about how he wants to take flight classes. He tells his mother-in-law he really wants to take flight classes, and the mother-in-law talks about how expensive that is. So the mother-in-law suggests, well, why don't you join the Air Force, where you'll be getting paid to learn how to fly planes? And so Guillermo likes that idea. And then they talk about his relationship with Kara and how much it's deteriorated. And the mother-in-law is like, well, I had no idea that things had gotten as bad as they were, to the point where they're sleeping in separate rooms. So Guillermo does like the idea of going into the Air Force. So when he gets with Kara, he brings this up to her. He's like, you know what? I'm thinking about joining the military. And Kara is like, what? Excuse me? And he's like, yeah, it'll be a good idea. And I'll get wonderful benefits for us, Nico, blah, 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 the benefits, the benefits, the benefits. And also, I get to learn how to fly planes. And so she's like, did you do your research? Do you know that it's more than just learning how to fly planes? It's like it takes over your whole entire life. And then you don't know where you're going to be stationed for basic training. They're always going to be moving you to different places. And of course, this is really obvious. Everybody knows this is what military life is like. You never really get situated in just one place. They're constantly moving you place to place. And she's like, I'm not going to uproot my son to go chasing you all over the country. That's just not going to happen, or all over the world. I'm not going to do that. I am stable here in Virginia. My son is stable here in Virginia. I have a great support system. Nico has his friends. My family's here. My friends are here. I'm not going to be following you around everywhere. That's just not going to happen. He ends up calling her selfish. And she's like, how am I selfish? And I'm the one looking out for our kid. I'm not going to do this because it's not in the best interest of our child. And so she's upset with him because it's like he comes up with these ideas and he just runs with it. Like, he doesn't do the research. He doesn't really take the time to figure out the pros and cons of his decisions and whether or not it's going to work for the family. It's all about what he wants. He's actually the one that's selfish because he wants to learn how to fly planes so bad that he's willing to make such a drastic move as joining the military to do it. So she was like, no, I don't agree with that. I don't support that at all whatsoever. And I'm wondering why the mother would even suggest that if she knew anything about her daughter and not her daughter, how her daughter feels about Guillermo's wishy-washy ways. Like, I don't understand why the mother brought that, even would bring that up. I understand, like, she was like, you taking flight classes, you can't afford it. Don't be coming to me asking me for money. So join the military where you're going to get money to learn how to fly planes. But did the mom not even think about how her own daughter would react to such an idea? I was very confused about that because Kara was really pissed off. And I was wanting Guillermo to say, wait a minute, hold up. This was your mom's idea, okay? Go yell at her. This was her idea. Anyway, y'all, that's my review. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate on your way out. Please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.